What if this year didn't have to look like last year? Drifting, disconnected, reacting instead of moving with purpose? What if God actually has a mission for your marriage in 2026? And everything you've been craving, clarity, peace, joy, teamwork, it's waiting on the other side of discovering it. So in this video, we're going to answer 3 questions every couple wrestles with. What happens if we don't live on mission in 2026? Is it actually possible to identify the mission God has for our marriage? And then how do we begin living on mission practically this year? So by the end of this video, you'll know how to move forward with purpose together in the new year. So when I was a teenager, my brother and I went fishing one night at a pond not too far from our house. And we got this little John boat, and we put it in the water, and that's when we realized we had forgotten the bait. And fishing's no fun if you don't have bait. So we decided we'd just paddle around for a little bit, and then we'd head back to the truck. What we didn't realize was that this pond was connected to a swamp. And without knowing it, we weren't paddling back to the truck. We were paddling in the wrong direction. When we finally turned around to head back, there was no truck to be found. We were heading deeper and deeper into the wooded swamp. And we ended up spending the entire night in that little boat in the swamp with thousands of mosquitoes. It was the worst night of my life. Well, the next morning, we heard the sound of helicopters overhead. And because we never came home and the cell phone hadn't been invented then, our parents called the police, which got the civil defense out, and they came looking for us. Eventually, they found us and they helped us get out. Here's the lesson. This is what happens when you don't have a map or clear directions, or you forget the bait. You don't just get lost, you get stuck. And that's exactly what happens to many marriages. Not because they're bad marriages, not because they don't love each other, but because they're paddling hard, but without direction. So living on mission in 2026 begins with a decision, not a feeling. See, most couples drift because they've never intentionally agreed that their marriage exists for something more than survival. So before anything else, you and your spouse need to settle this truth together, that God brought us together on purpose, for a purpose. And when that decision is clear, your marriage stops reacting to life and it starts moving with intention. So we have to clarify God's direction for this season. See, one of the biggest mistakes that couples make is thinking that mission has to be lifelong and perfectly defined. See, living on mission in 2026, it means discerning what God is calling your marriage to focus on this year. See, mission becomes livable when it's seasonal and it's specific to what you're going through and where you're living at that time. God may be inviting your marriage in 2026 to focus on your family or healing or restoration, hospitality or mentoring or maybe service or spiritual growth. See, you don't need a master plan. You need an alignment for this season. So the next thing you need to do, once you find out what your mission is you begin to align your priorities around that mission. See, once the direction's clear, living on mission in 2026, it just requires alignment. Your calendar, your finances, your energy, and commitments all need to reflect what you say. A mission that doesn't shape decisions will always lose to urgency. See, couples living on mission regularly ask one guiding question. Does this move us towards what God has called our marriage to in 2026? See, that question brings clarity, it reduces conflict, and simplifies decisions. So living on mission in this next year doesn't mean getting everything right. It means moving forward together. See, many couples stall because they're afraid of choosing the wrong direction. But clarity often comes after movement, not before it. See, God honors obedience more than perfection. So when couples move together, unity grows, confidence increases, and mission becomes clearer with each step you take. So once you see clearly your mission, you have to revisit the mission throughout the year. So mission's not a one-time conversation. See, couples who live on mission revisit it through prayer, conversation, and reflection. And as life changes, God often refines our direction. So regular check-ins protect your marriage from drifting and keep you aligned all throughout the year. So mission stays alive when it's nurtured, just like everything else in our life. All right, so at this point, you may be thinking, well, that sounds good and that sounds right, but we still don't know exactly how to do this. And that's normal. You now understand how to live on mission in 2026, but good intentions won't carry you throughout the year. So what you need is a clear biblical process to help you discover and articulate your mission as a couple. And that's exactly why we created the Marriage on Mission mini course. So inside the course, we walk with you step by step to help you develop a family mission statement and core values. We'll help you clarify goals based on that mission statement. And these are goals that you could actually live out this next year. And then we help you move in your marriage relationship from drifting to direction as a unified team. All right, so if you're serious about not drifting through 2026, let's get the year off to a great start. Click the link below and start the Marriage on Mission mini course. Don't just talk about living on mission this year, but build one that you can live out together. I'll see you there.